It is Minecraft Championship season once again, and once again the teams have been revealed. There are some pretty exciting teams. It has gotten people talking about whose team is going to win the tournament. While it is impossible to 100% accurately predict the exact placements of each team, using math I can figure out what teams are the frontrunners and what teams won't do so well. Just remember that this ranking is just my own opinion on who is going to do well, and one that is solely based on math. You can disagree with me. Also, I just wanted to thank you for the insane support on the channel this past week. I've gained like 30 subscribers over the past few days, which is crazy. If you want to help support the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like and comment as well. Now on with the video. To show new viewers exactly how I make these rankings, I made this example team. If you already know how this works, just skip to the time on screen right now. First, I find all of the average point totals for the players on the team, as listed under the player's name. For example, Quig has 3,270 points. This is extra hard this season because I noticed the MCC wiki, where I get my data, was wrong for some of the teams. If the player hasn't played before, I just put an NA under their name. Then I add up all the players' average point totals and divide by how many totals I added up. So for this team, it would be 3,450 plus 3,270 plus 3,239, and divide that by 3, which is 3,320. This is the average points per player, and you can see it to the right of the team name. Now we can get into the teams. The team that I think will do the worst is the Aqua Axolotls, with False Symmetry, F-Whip, Grian, and Rendog. Their best player is F-Whip, while their worst player is Rendog. Their average points per player is 1,939. I don't think this is too controversial of a pick, as they don't have any standout players. While players like False have been doing better in recent games, is usually under the supervision of a player like Fruitberries or Pizza Hut. While it is possible they may not get last, I don't think this team will do very good. The next team we have are the Blue Bats. This team has Captain Puffy, Illumina, Kara Corvus, and Puns. Their best player is Puffy, while their worst player is Kara. They average 1,962 points per player. Now this team is complicated because only two of their players have played before. Illumina and Puns are new to the tournament, and judging by the makeup of this team, I think they are put as the better players to carry the other two. While this may seem like an average team, if you compare this team to a team from last tournament, Puffy, Kara, Techno, and Tapel, it starts to fall apart. Techno and Tapel not only have played MCC way more than Illumina and Puns, but I'm betting that even if they had played before, Techno and Tapel would still be the better duo. That team only got 6th in the tournament, so I did not have high expectations for this team. The next team we have are the Red Rabbits. They consist of Quackity, Tommy Innit, Tubbo, and Wisp. Their best player is Tommy, while their worst player is Quackity. They average 1,994 points per player. Again, this team is complicated because Wisp has never played before, and I'm expecting him to be this team's best player. However, while they may or may not get 8th place, I am expecting this team to not win, as Quackity isn't very good, and Tubbo isn't that good either. Tommy and Wisp would have to carry, and it would be tough for Wisp to carry on his first season. While Tubbo and Quackity may perform above average and this team does do well, I do not see that happening. In 7th place, we have the Orange Ocelots. This team consists of the Arid, Fundy, H-Bomb, and Carl Jacobs. Their best player is H-Bomb, while their worst player is Carl. They average 2,087 points per player. I think this team was made to prevent H-Bomb from getting first place for the 6th time in a row. Every team H-Bomb has had before, he has been able to do well in, either because he has a really strong player like Pete helping him, or he doesn't have any outright bad players on his team. This time he has Arid and Carl Jacobs, who are not very good at MCC. He does have Fundy helping him, but they would have a harder time succeeding compared to teams higher up on the list. In 6th place we have the Lime Llamas with Cubfan, Fruitberries, Pearlescent Moon, and Smallish Beans. Their best player is Fruit and their worst player is Cubfan. They average 2,145 points per player. This team is similar to Pete's team in MCC 10, but I think they are slightly worse. Fruitberries is slightly worse than Pete, and Pearlescent Moon doesn't have any secret PvP skills like False Symmetry has. While I don't think this team will do bad, I also don't think this team will do great either, which is why they are here. Starting off with the top half of the teams, we have the Cyan Creepers with Lauren's side, Pizza Hut, CPK, and Solidarity Gaming. Their best player is Pete, and their worst player is Lauren. They average 2,177 points per player. I think this team is pretty much the most balanced team in MCC. They have the statistically best player and the statistically worst player, They have a slightly above average player and a slightly below average player. This team isn't anything special and is pretty dependent on how well the more average players perform. In fourth place, we have the Purple Pandas with S Major, Dan TDM, Sapnap, and Shovel. Their best player is Sapnap and their worst player is Dan TDM. They average 2,220 points per player. I think this team will do pretty well, and this team is also pretty similar to the Blue Black Cats from last season. Sapnap is pretty similar to H-Bomb, but Dan TDM isn't as strong as Fail Whip is, so I don't think this team will do as well as the Blue Black Cats. However, they are still a good team, that is why they are in fourth. In third place, we have the Yellow Yaks. This team consists of Gizzy Gazda, Quig, Rygai Rocky, and SB737. Their best player is Quig, and their worst player is Gizzy. While this team doesn't seem that good at first, compared to teams like the previous two teams, I think they are pretty good. Quig is one of the best players in the game, and while Gizzy and SB737 might be below average, Quig can surely make up for their points, or boost them into gaining more points. Rygai Rocky is also surprisingly good at MCC as well. This is a solid team, and that is why I have them here. Now we have the top two teams. These are the two teams I think will make it to Dodgebolt. Starting off at number 2, we have the Green Guardians with George Not Found, Filza, Tapel, and Wobersut. Their best player is Tapel and their worst player is Wobersut. Overall, this is just a solid team with no bad player. While I don't have any super strong players either, I think Filza and Tapel could totally perform above their usual average with the support of a decent team like they have here. However, I don't think this team will win. The team I think will win is the Pink Parrots, made up of Captain Sparkles, Dream, McChill, and Spifey. Their best player is Dream and their worst player is Spifey. They average 2,388 points per player. Now, I do recognize that this is the third time I have put Dream's team in first. However, the previous two teams I have been right, and this team is no different. Dream is obviously one of the best players in the game, and Captain Sparkles is not that bad either. McChill is more mixed, but I think he can perform well with a team like this. Spifey is probably their worst player, and while they may not be able to perform as well, Dream has won with way worse players on his team in the past. This is a pretty good team, which is why I think they will get the most points. Now, we are not done yet. We still need to figure out who will win Dodgebolt, and we can again use math to find out who is the better team. For the Pink Parrots, Dream's record is 2 out of 2 for Dodgebolt, Jordan's record is 0 out of 2, and McChill's record is 2 out of 3. Spifey has never played before, so we will ignore him. The team's entire record is 4 out of 7. Now, the Green Guardians. Ober's record is 1 out of 2, Filza's record is 1 out of 3, and George's record is 1 out of 2. Tapel has never been in Dodgebolt. The Green Guardians' Dodgebolt record is 3 out of 7. This means that the Pink Parrots have a slightly higher chance of winning Dodgebolt statistically than the Green Guardians. Now, obviously, this is generalizing a ton. Tapel is the Green Guardians' best PvPer, but he couldn't be included due to never playing before. However, I have a brilliant counter-argument to that. If I am right, it will be funny. Those are my thoughts on the teams for MCC 12. Before I end this video, I just want to give a brief channel update. Once again, I want to thank you guys for subscribing to the channel so much. The support this past week has been insane. However, I am going to take a few weeks off from releasing videos. That is because I'm going to begin work on my next documentary, similar to the Spice Lads in the JD Odrin video. I don't want to give away what it is about yet, but I will say it involves one of the players in MCC 12, and that is H-Bomb. If you want to stay updated on that, make sure to subscribe to the channel and also follow me on Twitter. But for now, I will see you in the next video.
Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. I'm in love with the shape of you. Push and pull like a magnet too. That one heart is falling into. I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room. Now my bed sheets smell.